Dr. Kenny Anthony wants the Prime Minister, in the words of Soca King Ricky T, to wheel and come again. The leader of the opposition says the address by the Prime Minister on Thursday evening was laced with untruths and misinformation. He outlined 4 statements uttered by the Prime Minister he says supports his assessment. Among them, the surplus the government is currently working with and the historical nature of the increase given to public servants by the King administration.
The Prime Minister says that a contingency of $5 million is included in the budget, less than 1% of recurrent expenditure. Now, this is clearly not true. Indeed, if you look at the estimates of expenditure just tabled in Parliament, there is a contingency of $21 million. The Prime Minister says, and I want to quote him exactly, even without a 7.5%, the award is more than any granted by any government within the last 15 years. That's simply not true. The previous Labour administration granted public officers an overall increase of 10% sometime in 2005-2006.
Dr. Anthony has called on the Prime Minister to pay public servants the agreed to 7.5%. He says if the economic crisis facing St. Lucia is predicted to deteriorate as the government says, that is the only way forward. One chairman, Peter Alexander, puts forth a similar argument.
There are several areas where the Prime Minister can cut to meet the public servants' pay increase. For example, why are you giving Mr. Sasti $53 million? To do what? I mean, do you think that is going to make a substantial difference to tourist arrivals? I don't think so at this point in time. I mean, our main market is the U.S. market. They are losing 1 million jobs a month. That will not change the price of coffee. I believe it could have come from there. The purchase of the Dare building, I believe that is not very important at this point in time. I believe there are other priorities that the government should be looking into at this time, and I think the payment of public servant salaries is one of those priorities.
Once he has committed himself to paying the 7.5%, he says that we agreed to this and we're going to pay it, then the best thing is to bite the bullet and get it over with and resolve the problem and make the adjustments that would be necessary.
Public servants say they will strike until the remaining 4% of a 7.5% salary increase is paid by government. The Prime Minister has indicated that despite rejection of a 3.5% deal by the unions, his government will pay that on May 26. This is how both party leaders view the threatened strike action.
It is up to the public officers to decide the best way to handle this matter. It is not for me to prescribe to them or for them what position they should take. What I can tell you is that the Prime Minister is causing unnecessary anger in the country. He is handling the situation badly.
I believe the civil servants are in their right. Whatever action they choose to take now, they need to do it on a principle.
Dr. Anthony and Peter Alexander agree the Prime Minister handled the negotiations with the union badly. They say his management style is what led to the current impasse. Dr. Anthony says Stephenson King speaks in a language of threats that are antagonizing and not placating public servants. Carmi Joseph, HTS News, Channel 4.